Well, hello there. Is this Brian?
This is me, Mike
Awesome,
Winger.
man.
Thanks for giving me a call. I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, I'm more than happy. It's a privilege. Good stuff. I was just checking out your a bit of orange.com stuff. It looks like you're doing a lot of stuff on evolution and geology and stuff like that. I find that really interesting.
I do all kinds of things, but that has been one of the focuses. People keep
Yeah.
asking questions, so I keep giving them answers.
Well,
So if you
good.
have any
That's
questions, let
okay.
me know. I'm here to help.
Yeah, well, definitely. I don't know when I'm going to dip back into that. I go through seasons of research,
Mm.
like where you're focusing on a certain thing for a while and then you kind of move to something else. But one of these days, maybe I'll call you up and see if you can help me with stuff on the geologic column because I find that all very outside my experience and study.
I used to too. I used to think it was boring, and then I learned the connection that the Genesis flood explains what we observe. Then it all made
Yeah,
sense, and now it became interesting. Like in college,
yeah,
I had bought into the deep time, and I was like, well, evolution isn't true, but clearly the Earth is billions of years old, and it was boring.
yeah,
But you know, now that I've learned to line up science with the Bible, I'm like, oh, now it's interesting and it makes sense. So I'll be happy to help
yeah.
you out there.
Cool.
I actually
Right
am
on, man.
a Illinois State certified science teacher, so I do know what I'm
Nice.
talking about to a fifth grade level.
Good. Well, that's my level right there. Yeah. So, no, I think that's fantastic, and that's what we need more of is more educated, thoughtful interaction on all that stuff.
That's my goal. My goal, as I tried to explain, is I'm trying to just sort of introduce the Christian church to apologetics. That's the goal. I mean, I get a lot of non-Christians
Yeah.
visiting my various social media, but that's my purpose because there's a lot of people in the church who have no idea, why any of this is true. They're just like, well, this is how I was raised, and I've actually heard people say, well, the Bible's true because I believe it. I'm like, you believing it doesn't make it true. If it
Yeah.
wasn't true, you believing it wouldn't make it true.
Yeah, you don't want to be founding your faith on claims that anybody could make,
Uh-huh.
because then how do you discern between one truth claim and another?
And that brings me to you.
Yep.
So, you know what? I only know you from your YouTube channel, which is fantastic. I've watched like almost everything, but I
Oh,
don't
wow.
actually know a whole lot
Cool.
about your background. So tell me about yourself and how you got to where you are now.
Well, it's not terribly interesting, but I'll give you the spiel.
I'm going to edit
I
this anyway.
Yeah, good. It'll need it. So I probably got saved. I mean, I think you know how at least for some of us, we look back and we go, I'm not exactly sure the moment of my salvation, but when I first heard the gospel, I was about 12 years old. Um, but when I started to encounter other religions, other faiths, other people with different beliefs, I found myself drawn to those conversations and wanted good answers and good thinking about that kind of stuff. But I also noticed that there was kind of a resistance to that amongst most humans. This is not criticism against the church in particular. Most people don't want to think deeply about the things that they believe, in my experience. So what happened was, I ended up serving, doing ministry, just loved the Lord, loved doing anything to serve God in ministry, continued to do that, got involved in worship ministry, youth ministry, that sort of thing. I wanted greater education, so I went to the School of Worship over at Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa. I wanted more, so I went to the School of Ministry over there as well. And that was when I went through a season of life where I started experiencing these doubts, these like strong, big questions that I was asking and I didn't know the answers to. So I was wondering, like, has the Bible been changed? All the kind of stuff you see on my YouTube channel, I was thinking of these questions up for myself. And so I started asking around and didn't find good answers for them amongst just the casual person I would ask. In fact, I found that their answers exposed that they'd never really thought about those questions, which is fine.
Yeah.
It didn't bother them. They didn't need to worry about it, but it bothered me. So I ended up finding really good answers and really satisfying answers. And my intellectual concerns and questions were very well satisfied in the scriptures and in the theology of Christianity, in the Bible, and in the whole philosophy that comes along with that. So then as I continued doing youth ministry, I just started incorporating apologetics in through what I was doing. And long story short, I felt compelled that I had to do more, that there was something more that I needed to do. And I prayed about it and agonized over it, actually, like really agonized. And then I ended up starting doing YouTube. I had seen some videos and was just like frustrated with the wrong thinking that was there, and that I didn't see good answers being presented to the wrong thinking that I'd seen. So I started producing stuff. And if you look at my early videos on YouTube, you see I have no idea what I'm doing.
It was a good
I just
start,
like trying
You
stuff.
got a very good start.
Yeah.
I could tell you knew what you wanted to say, and the early stuff, not high in production, but high in intellectual capital. It was definitely well thought out and planned, and I appreciate that too. I watched the early stuff,
Yeah.
and
cool. One of the few.
you have a friendly intellectual level that I appreciate a lot, because usually it's friendly, we're not really going to think a whole lot, or here's a PhD, you won't understand half of this. The fact that you managed to combine the thinking and the accessibility, I really appreciate that.
I praise God for that. That's a huge goal of mine, is to like kind of grab with one hand these incredible scholars and theologians and guys that have really thought this stuff through, and then on the other hand grab, more your normal guy and be able to bring them together. And so that hopefully I can take some of these things and break it down in an understandable way to someone who wants to know. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's just that I don't live in that world of that guy's PhD.
Right.
I just want the good research and the good answer for these questions without the 600-page book necessarily. And so that was my goal, was to kind of be like a middleman between these great guys and then everybody else who really needs their information. Yeah.
Yeah, I've decided the church needs more of that, because you've got your William Lane Craig who puts it on the top shelf, and then you've got VeggieTales, and there needs to be a bridge there.
Yes.
So that's what I've decided to start building, is I'm building the bridge between those two.
Like a William Lane cauliflower. That would be good. That's what we need.
I'll call Phil Vischer and recommend that. I'm sure he'll like the idea.
Yeah.
I saw him at Chipotle once. We were only 20 feet apart from each other.
Nice. Well, I live in Southern California, so we're not really all that far, I guess.
Where are you, incidentally?
I'm in like LA County.
Okay. And
yeah.
So are you like you said youth ministry? Are you still in youth ministry, or are you now?
I still do youth ministry. So my YouTube stuff is really very different than what I'm doing at my church. Okay. I do incorporate apologetics in throughout youth ministry, but the stuff that goes online, for the most part, I teach a Sunday evening service where my pastor said, hey, do you want to do a Sunday evening service? Because we hadn't had one for a long time. And I said, I'd love to. And I was given permission to do whatever I wanted with it. And so I've just been taking that content for the past year and a half or so and just putting it up weekly as I prepare and teach Sunday night. I then throw it up on YouTube. But I do youth ministry. We have Wednesday service, Friday night activities, Sunday service, and all that as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's a little bit much as far as my schedule goes. It's a little bit much, but I'm really loving it. And it's been a great challenge and a great opportunity, and getting to pull this stuff together for the Evidence for the Bible series or the series on homosexuality. This stuff's heavy on my heart, and love getting to share it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can't praise it enough. So, good job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I like to learn stuff too, but again, it's it's either you've got the 900-page tome to root through, or you've got the bumper sticker. I'm like, you managed to do the homework and then bring the meat of the homework. So, basically, you allow me to be lazy, and I appreciate that.
Good. Good. That's my goal. So that's my goal right there. Equipping the lazy. No, I'm just kidding.